Shalom, shalom. On give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. When it say and give double honors to the apostles of bishop and bishops of great millstone for teaching his word and truth and sincerity and for ruling over as well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm a brother Gabar Yahweh, that's the team as Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. This is an in transit lesson, and just something I was thinking about since yesterday, actually. And the title of this lesson is "We Are Behind Enemy Lines." All right, we are behind enemy lines because a lot of our people seem to forget that, and they don't realize that. And what this is inspired is by two things. One, a quote by Ice Cube in that movie Higher Learning, right, where he was explaining to Omar Epps' character, the significance of what he thought was a win. All right, they had just beat up some Edomites. You know what I'm saying? At the school, they pretty much had like a so-called a race. Slocky. They pretty much had a race riot or a race fight at the school. And, Busta Rhymes' character was all excited. He got bruised in the face. And that's the most they got out of that whole situation was a bruised face. But it wasn't really a win. And then that was inspired. Slocky. I got a little, my allergies. But that was inspired also, that particular scene came out because, a couple of days ago on Saturday, you had this big brawl for it all in Montgomery. And I was debating whether I should speak about it because, Jake want to win. And that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with having a win. Ain't nothing wrong with having a up. But in reality, who really wins in that situation? You know what I mean? Like, Salakia. I'm riding through like a so it might go in and out highway. But you look at it like Jake is all excited. They're not being serious, and they're not understanding. They're not being serious about the situation. Neither are they being understanding about what implications that situation had. You know what I mean? It's like we still at war. You can win the small battles, but you got to win the war. And the war is spiritual. The war is absolutely spiritual. The Lord said in His precepts that He said, "I send you forth as sheep amongst wolves, man. Basically, be you wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. If it be at all possible, be at peace with all men." Understand at the boiling point. Now, Jake finding significance in this battle of Montgomery, in the battle or the brawl for Montgomery. They're seeing significance in the fact that it's spiritual too, because where that fight happened, it happened at it happened at a slave port in Montgomery, Alabama, which I think it said supposedly it was one of the largest slave ports in the country, where Jake was being sold off in slavery, where Jake was being held in captivity to be sold at auction, and so it was significant in the fact that you had Jake fighting Edomites, who were proud. Them devils down in the South and all around the world, they're proud, man. And those are Edomites they were fighting. Those weren't Jakes. They had that Israelite spirit on them. They had that straight pride and gall of an Edomite. Okay? But again, we're behind enemy lines. And it's all spiritual too, because the Lord rousing Jacob in ways too. See, I don't just look at it as it was a fight or entertainment. Yeah, it was funny for a little bit. And it's still funny, some of the things that come out, but now, you see Jake exalting a folding chair. Shit's so crazy that, people are going out to buy folding chairs, and folding chairs are going up in price. So again, like you didn't really win anything. You know what I mean? Because Esau owns these chairs, these companies for the chairs. Jake making shirts, T-shirts with the fight on it and shit. The fight only like 2 days old. Shit, it wasn't even a day old, and Jake already had a T-shirt with the fight on it. You know what I mean? And they're looking at it like it's a win. Oh yeah, we finally got him, like Smokey and Craig when they had got that little nigga that ride the bicycle and Friday, and they finally caught up with him, and they started beating him, and Smokey was all excited, but he was excited about the battle, but their life was on the line. They were out at night, and I think his name was Little Chris. Little Chris got him. Yeah, hit the trash can, and they finally caught up with Little Chris. They beat him in the street, but he forgot that Big Worm was out for him, man. And that's the thing. Like, the big worm in this situation would be Esau. You know, those are insignificant Edomites in a great scheme of all, in the grand scheme of all things, man. You know, because we ain't free yet. You know, and there is going to be race riots in this country. There is going to be class riots in this country. There is going to be total chaos in this country, as per Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14 on down. You know, people going to be invading one another's houses for food because there's going to be famine out here. There's going to be a war going on. You know, and this is what we're warning the people about. Like, y'all looking at the brawl for it all in Montgomery, but this man Esau Edom, he's still Esau Edom is still looking for Jake, man. They looking to come down on Jake. Revelation 12 and 12. Because he know if he have a short time, you know, he gonna come down on Jake. Roughly paraphrasing, you know. And this man is he's preparing an onslaught on the whole earth, man. Especially the children of Israel, because he know his time is short. You know, and we're telling our people, you know, through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Shai, is to turn to Yahweh Shem Shai. Yeah, it was a quick little victory, you know what I'm saying, for Jake out there in the South. But they didn't really accomplish anything. Them Edomites, they went to prison, or they not went to prison, they went to jail, or they got arrested. But I guarantee you that them Edomites made bail that same night. I guarantee you they walked out of that jailhouse the same night. And then you hear the rhetoric from the mayor, who's condemning all the violence. You know, even on the side of Jake. You know what I mean? They condemn. They ain't gonna come out and say, hey, look, we're gonna prosecute these Edomites to the full extent of the law for what they did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they jumped on Jake. Jake started fighting back. You know, but are you truly fighting back through the spirit? Because the war, we've been in war, but the battle, the greatest battle has yet to begin. And I'm Edomites, they ready to go off. They ready to pop off. You know what I'm saying? That's why they had that pride on them. And they pushed that Jake and they beat him when he gave them directions, because in their mind, they ain't gotta listen to no nigga. That's how they feel. You know what I mean? They can do whatever they want. In their mind. But Jake couldn't do that. You couldn't park a boat in front of an Edomite boat full of Edomites. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. And then you got Marlon Wayans, bitch ass, talking about some, oh, we all need to love. No, ain't no fucking love. That shows you that you still behind enemy lines. And even the least of the Edomites feel that they can do and say whatever they want to Jake without any repercussions. But hey, the Lord showed them that day. You know what I'm saying? No, you cannot. The scripture says, he that touches you touches the apple of my eye. You know? But the Lord is going to turn these Edomites up. Don't think for a second that shit just was a thing that happened. And, you know, Jake talking about he's going to start worshiping August 5th, 2023. Next year, niggas going to be having August 5th parties, riverboat, for the Battle of Montgomery or for the brawl in Montgomery. That's what niggas are talking about. Niggas got a national anthem for this shit now. That's what I'm saying. Like, they take it, and even Jake said that they the most unbothered, what's it? It said most unserious people. And they are. That's why the scripture says in Hosea 4-6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You know? Jake is absolutely destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because you should be serious, man. That should let you know that these Edomites are not your friends. They ain't your buddies. They ain't your pals. I don't care if they went to school with you. I don't care if they grew up with you. If they don't have a spirit of a Jake on them, they're your enemies, man. Okay? And they'll smile in your face. These are the same people that teach your children in school. These are the same people that feed your children, take your children patronizes their businesses, man, and you think it's all good. No, them niggas hate you, man. You know, it was another video I had saw on TikTok last week. This Jake, he was interviewing this Edomite women, and they asked if you could be any race in the world, what race would you want to be? And old girl said she want to be white. She said, because I don't want to be you. You know, people are you basically the lowest of the level. She said, I want to be white because we are supreme. She said they're supreme. And our friend tried to clean it up and said she'd rather be mixed race for some stupid ass reason. But the one that said that she was supreme, she walked off. You know, because she knew it was offensive to the Jake. But she was in the right spirit because why wouldn't you want to be the ruling class, the ruling caucus? But Jake don't want to be the ruling caucus. Jake don't want to be the ruling class. Okay, you want to be the Sambo of the group. You want to be of the nations. You want to be equal to these people. These people don't want to be equal to you. You know, that Edomite family, man. Y'all look at it. Everybody's excited, and then they say they got a GoFundMe to release or to help. You know, supposedly to help for the case coming down the pipeline. Some Edomites ain't need that shit. They got out. They got in there. They got out of there. They own boats. It is not cheap to own a boat. I work at a port from time to time, and I overhear, you know, some of the stuff that people gotta do just to own a fucking boat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta register. You gotta register it with the port. You gotta pay a certain amount of money to maintain it at the port. You gotta have a port slip. You just can't buy a boat and just fly out and just drive a boat. It ain't work that way. So them Edomites, they got bread. They're like they boycott their business. So you didn't really do anything. And like in that clip, Ice Cube was saying, look, man, he said, what all you get out of that, out of a fight? You know, because he didn't get in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. You got to watch that movie Higher Learning. Like this dude, he knew where he was at. He knew what kind of fight he was really in. While Jake learned to be carnal, this dude, he was soaking up all his different knowledge and understanding his enemy. While Jake, Busta Rhymes, Omar Epps, them niggas, they just see some white dudes, some so-called white dudes, and they just getting the stuff. But then you look at Busta Rhymes, got a messed up face, and he didn't change anything. He said they own everything. They own their school, they own their building, they own their shoes. He said they own you. They own you. Right now, we in fucking hell. You know? And the greatest fight has yet to begin. You know? Jay think that it's a game. You know? Niggas making songs up about the Montgomery Brawl. You know? You fought one Edomite family that was drunk. One Edomite family. What about the Rothschilds? What about the Rockefellers? What about all these super elite that got a whole fucking scheme to destroy and enslave Jake by way of a MOTB, a CF? And the only way you're going to fight them is through the spirit of power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against rulers of darkness of this world. Therefore, you got to put on the whole armor. You know, it ain't a game. We ain't a joke. And that's one thing about that particular character in that movie, Higher Learning, that I liked about Ice Cube. Most people was looking at the love story between Tyra Banks and Omar Epps and Higher Learning. And then you saw they Edom, but the whole time the Edomite, he was preparing to kill and shoot everybody. He was so enraged that, you know, this nigga can just waltz into his dormitory, you know, in his college, and on his land. And he was a loose cannon too. Because even the Edomite skinheads, they were thinking on a higher level. That's why it was called Higher Learning. And we're thinking on a higher learning. We're on a higher level. We see that it go beyond just a brawl for it all in Montgomery. It's a spiritual battle that we are part of. And our enemy is gearing up to destroy us. It has been destroying us in many ways. By the foods we eat, you don't own no food production. By the clothes we wear, you don't own any fabric production. By the shit that they put in your mind, we don't own any media. I don't give a damn if the motherfucker talk about BET. What's BET compared to all the media, social media, and all this shit that this devil owns? Where he's able to control a narrative and spin it any way he wants. So within a matter of hours, you can forget that something major is happening, has happened. You understand what I'm saying? We're trying to win the war. We're trying to win the whole war, so that we can become victorious. Which through Yahweh Shai, we already got the victory. We just waiting for it to manifest in our time. But in reality, we already won. And that's the war that Esau is really concerned with. Esau's not concerned with the battle of Montgomery, the brawl for it all. You know? Niggas talking about some lift every chair and swing to earth and heaven ring. You know, just dumb shit. You know, and niggas is really going to be on, niggas like to celebrate Halloween. Watch, I guarantee you a whole bunch of niggas going to be dressed up as a fucking chair, walking around with chairs on their side. You know, and brawls going to be breaking out. This one Jake, he was saying how how black people feel like this is a win for them. It's a victory for them. You know, like all we got to do is come together and just start taking it. Like, nigga, no, you ain't going to take it that way. Because it ain't a black thing. It ain't a white thing. It's a nation thing. It's the Israelites against the Edomites and the rest of the world, the rest of the heathen. You know, you got all these heathen trying to jump on Balaam because really Esau is hated. He's despised amongst the heathen. Even though they try to emulate him, imitate him, you know, impress him. These other nations, mainly the women, like this group woman, you know, she was talking about how the racist white people deserved it, you know, which they did. They deserved that ass whooping. It was funny, but I was looking at a lot of the blows, and it ain't take Esau out. Nobody was bleeding. Ain't nobody, you know, except that woman. Her head might be hurt because she got hit over the head with the chair by the Jake. I think that was the most violent portion of that whole fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that dude that hit her with the chair, and that's assault with a deadly weapon because he hit her in the head. Right, and then she gonna say he fucked her neck up. She can't sleep. She got headaches and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like you ain't win. There ain't no win. If they carried you off to jail after the fact, and you know how the justice system is against Jake in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at that like, yo, that Jake was defending like yo, like he really got to go to court for that shit. You know what I mean? And them Edomites got to go to court too for jumping on Jake, which they was guilty of sins for doing that too. You know, so ain't no win out of that. Not when this devil is telling you that you gonna own nothing and be happy. Not when this devil talking about putting a chip in you and having you live in a 15-minute city and war breaking out. That ain't no win. The real victory coming when Yahweh Shai comes back. You know? That's when the real victory happens. That's when the real victory song, we're singing a victory song to our people, and they ain't trying to hear it. You know? We telling you that the fight is bigger than, hey, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this thing is bigger than Montgomery Brown. You know? And this man choking, he got guns, he's ready to go to war. And they licking their chops. They been licking their chops. That's going to give them another reason to just turn up on Jake. And yeah, Jake going to turn up too. Don't get it twisted. They ain't going to be like, but hey, Jake is ready to go for the slaughter though. You know? And it ain't going to be a game. You ain't going to be dressing no fucking chair up in no black Air Force Ones and a do-rag talking about we interviewing a chair. Calling a nigga Aquaman. You know, because the nigga swam in some water to help defend Jake. That was the spirit that jumped to that man and the rest of them other Jakes. You know? Meanwhile, an Edomite could kill and strangle you on the subway, and his GoFundMe will go through the fucking roof. $2 million to help fight a fight. In court, what you gonna win? They ain't even talking about that shit. That shit probably already said and done. swept under the rug. Hey, don't worry about it. You'll be free. You know, not that don't happen for Jake like that, man. Except if you a nigga woman and your kid drop dead, then they'll give you a GoFundMe lottery and you get some money. You know, but the war is still on. We still in war. We behind enemy lines. That's the title of this lesson. We're still behind enemy lines. We in America, okay? And our enemy is still ruling over us at present time. And he's still contriving, and him and his Confederate, to do the nation of Israel dirty. You know? This man really is readying for something that you Jakes ain't ready for. And he gonna catch majority of you Israelites off guard. You gonna be asleep while we telling you to wake up and understand that, listen, hey, this thing is highly spiritual, you know? And we have to be prepared for what's coming down the pipeline. And the only way to do that is through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. There ain't no other way. There's no other way. There's no other way. You see? This fight is real, man. This ain't a game. This ain't something to be played with, man. Yeah, these people took this country from our people and took us from Europe and Africa and enslaved the fuck out of us, man, and oppress us to this day. Jeremiah, what is it? Jeremiah 50. I can't find it right now. Maybe when I stop, I'll be able to bring it out. But I think it's Jeremiah 50 and 33, something like that, where it says, if one of you brothers could post it on a comment board, where it says that Israel and Judah are held captive together, something like that, and all that held them captive refused to let them go. Because we're in captivity right now. We're in hell right now. This is fucking hell, bro. You know, having no power, having being controlled by women, not being able to see your children, not being able to have a say so and a true say so in your children's life. Not having no land, no real land, no sovereignty. Your enemies is ruling over you like animals that they are. You know, here it is. These motherfuckers are the real slaves. They the real nobodies. But this devil treats us like that, man. You know, slocky about that. This devil treats us like we're nobodies, like we don't exist. You know, these devils shouldn't even be walking around free, but they think that about us. You see, that's what they think about us. They believe that we shouldn't be free, which we're not free. But they don't want us on no level next to them. But in reality, they're beneath us. You know, and they're ruling like a motherfucker over us, man. No matter where we go, you can leave America. Guess what? Esau, his foot is still up your ass, man. You can go to Africa, up your ass. You can go to Europe, up your ass. You can go to Asia, up your ass. Because he runs the world via the super elite. And Esau was always going to have a preferential treatment in this world over you. And that's the truth, man. This devil gets preferential treatment in this world, man. No matter where he goes, man. You know? And you think you free. Let me see if anybody posted any comments. Yeah, Dawada. Yeah, that's Jeremiah 50 and 33. It's the brother Kazak Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. Exactly. And they have refused to let us go, man. What you thought emancipation was Freedom Day? No. Juneteenth was Freedom Day? Hell no. You ain't free. We ain't fucking free. We ain't captivity like a motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're trying to get you to understand through the Spirit. The only one that's going to free us is the one that put us here, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? The one that put us in his condition is the one that's going to free us from his condition. And that's what we're trying to get you to understand. You are still behind enemy lines, man. And while you're behind enemy lines, you gotta move circumspectly. You gotta use spiritual discernment. You gotta be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Because this man is ready to roll on you, man. All right? So that Montgomery ball, August 5th, 2023, was not a win for you, man. It wasn't no win. Like there's a saying, you might have won the battle, but you you ain't won the war yet. You ain't won the war. Okay? And we are at war. We will win the war through Yahweh Shai. When Yahweh Shai comes back and destroys his enemies, which is our enemies, he destroys their armies. He destroys this country, this whore, Babylon the Great. And he's gonna use Esau to do it. He's gonna use Esau's gonna destroy himself. He's gonna destroy himself because he's gonna go to war with each other. Hey, these Rothschilds been playing both sides of the fence. Via their economics and control of their world banks, right? Playing both sides like oh yeah, like we got this in the hand. No, nigga, a house divided against itself cannot stand. You're gonna have Edomite Russians and Edomite Americans fighting each other, and their allies, man. This third world war is not gonna be an introduction to a new Edomite world order. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Not at all. And they got excited because those first two world wars, they had that shit in them hands. They was like, oh yeah, they just knew it was good. They created this narrative around the so-called Jew, have everybody thinking that's only what World War II was about, and it wasn't. It was about that. It was a part of it, but it was about them having total control. And now they want to enslave you via a chip. They're changing the money system up around you, man. See, I told you, you think it's a game. You know what I'm saying? The way you operate, buy and sell, about to change drastically, man. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be all this freedom to merchandise, every goddamn thing. That shit's about to go out the window. And Jake ain't none the wiser. Jake ain't none the wiser, nigga. Shit is getting real out here, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, the Lord is stoking the fire. He is rousing Jake up. Jake is tired of Esau and what they do. You know what I mean? And how they manipulate the system. Jake is tired of that shit. But you ain't tired enough to truly separate from it, man. Come out of her, my people, for her judgment has reached unto the heavens. And you got to come out of her spiritually. You got to come out of America spiritually. That's how you do it. You can't go nowhere. You can get you a passport all day. They ain't going to free you from this system. Only Yahweh Shai can do that. And Jake think it's a game, man. Playing these fucking games. Jake playing these games like it's all good. And it ain't all good. It's not all good at all. Okay, let me see what's on the comment board. Slack here. Second Ezra 16:40, the brother Bunya lawyer, oh my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims on the earth, right? Because we're gonna have to move around, man. We're gonna have to get out of our places that we're settled in right now. We're gonna have to move around. You're gonna have to be pilgrims in the earth, man. We're gonna have to be on the move. And that's why the apostles is getting us spiritually fit and teaching us how to be physically fit, man, so that we can be able to move around in them days, man. Getting us used to walking again, riding bicycles, man. Because these cars, you ain't going to be able to drive no car without no gas. You ain't going to have no money to get it. So you're going to have to move around and be prepared to move around, man. That's the kind of battle we coming into. Job 19 and 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. Right. And our Redeemer is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yep. That's our Redeemer. And he's going to stand at the end. He's going to stand at the end. You know, so yeah, this is my take on that. I ain't want to try to like the Montgomery brawl and all of the other shit. Like, I mean, it's cool. Those titles is cool, but we still behind enemy lines, man, and we got to prepare for the war ahead. Okay, and yes, it's cool to enjoy the small victories. That's great. I'm all for that, man. But the folly always gets set in quicker than the knowledge and wisdom. You got to look at the situation bigger than what you see, because everything is bigger than what you don't see that really matters than what you do see. It's down. Say shalom. On to the next.